arrives, the soul separates from the body and enters into a new world called barzakh. حتى إذا جاء أحدهم الموت قال رب ارجعون. When the moment of death arrives, he asks Allah, "Oh Allah, return me to this dunya. لعلي أعمل صالحا ما تركت. May I do some good deeds. I missed this opportunity of making the good deeds. Let me go back." But the response comes from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, كلا إنها كلمة هو قائلها ومن ورائهم برزخ إلى يوم يبعثون. Finish. You had 50, 60, 70 years of opportunity. You indulged yourself in sins, ma'asi. You ate haram. You spent your money on the haram. You went to the casinos, mixed parties, alcohol, na'udhu billah. Finish. The minute the man sees the Malak al-Maut, that's it. We gave you this opportunity, all that long, prolonged years, but you misused Allah's opportunity. That's it. You have to expect and face the fate and the reality, good or bad. One of our ulama, he lived in Karbala for so many years. In one of the nights, or I think it was every week, maybe the night of Jum'ah, he used to go to the graveyard, cemetery. He finds an empty grave. They dug graves just in case there's a new dead person. So he sleeps in that grave and he reads this ayah, رَبِّ ارْجِعُونَ لَعَلِّي أَعْمَلُ صَالِحًا. And then he wakes up. He says, Alhamdulillah, I now retain my life. So I go back and do a'mal salihah. This is how some people educated themselves with the matter of death. The problem is we don't have really that much awareness. Maybe because we're living in a society which the material aspects are more overwhelming our life. But we can, alhamdulillah, by attending these majalis, these gatherings, we can get closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and remember death and remember our fate. Also we can visit the graveyards if we can once a month. It's difficult here, of course. Maybe you don't have somebody of relatives or friends who died here and buried here, but at least when you go back home, then you try to visit your relatives back home, abroad, which is a good idea. Just to remember death. See the graveyard. I was just today passing this morning the cemetery, and I was thinking, subhanallah, one day they were with us, a shopkeeper, I don't know, taxi driver, a teacher, Allah knows, maybe a youth playing around in the streets. Now they are under the ground. Subhanallah. صلوا على محمد وآل محمد.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
قيل للإمام الرضا سلام الله عليه. It was said to the Imam سلام الله عليه, كيف أصبحت يا ابن رسول الله? How is your situation, Ya ibn Rasulullah? The Imam Salamullah alayhi responded. He doesn't say, well, I'm fine, alhamdulillah, business is well, you know, I'm having diet or something and I'm enjoying my life. No. Ahlul Bayt, they teach us. فقال عليه السلام أصبحت بأجل منقوص. Well, my situation is that my age, my time is running out. I'm getting closer to the death day by day. أصبحت بأجل منقوص وعمل محفوظ. There are two angels who are recording my deeds. So they are actually preparing my profile. A lot of the deeds, bad or good, are all written and recorded. وعمل محفوظ والموت في رقابنا. The death is almost on our necks, which means it's so close to us. والموت في رقابنا والنار من ورائنا. And the hellfire is just behind us, chasing us. It's as if we are running from the hellfire. The more we do sins, na'udhu billah, the hellfire gets closer to us from the back. So we have to run away from the hellfire. وَالنَّارُ مِنْ وَرَائِنَا وَلَا نَدْرِي مَا يُفْعَلُ بِنَا. Allah. We don't know our fate. What's going to happen to us in the grave, inside the grave? Can we guarantee? Can you guarantee that you can pass this stage to the hereafter and you're safe? Inshallah. With the repentance, tawbah, with inshallah we increase our good deeds, a'mal salihah. And of course the main thing is wilayat Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
In the book of Dar es-Salam, the writer, one of the ulama, he mentions a story. We had one story from the scientists as evidence, scientific evidence, and now there's a religious evidence. In Dar es-Salam, it mentions the story of Allama al-Naraqi, صاحب كتاب جامع السعادات, a spiritual man. Try to read this book. It's all about akhlaq and the spirits and so forth. How to raise your spirituality, to reach that level of that when you pray, you stand before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you don't feel nothing except Allah. He says that I lived in Najaf for some time with my family in the old days, and he said that the starvation came to Najaf. In the old days they had for example illnesses they called ta'un. They would die eventually. Many people would die because of lack of medicine and medication. So many people would actually die as a result of a virus, like as we have today in the world. Although they quickly treat it now because of the advancement in pharmaceuticals and medicines, but in the old days they used to die in masses. For example, the whole village would die out of this infection and virus. So he said that starvation came to the city of Najaf due to the lack of food. It wasn't like today. You would get the food by the aeroplane, by the lorries around the world. You'll have everything ready. So there was no harvest, and he said I came out of my house because my family, they were hungry, the kids were crying. He said I went to the Wadi Salam, one of the biggest graveyards in the world today. The Wadi Salam, this graveyard is next to the Haram of Amir al-Mu'mineen, Ali ibn Abi Talib, salamullah alayhi, sallu ala Muhammad. So he says, I went inside the grave just to see the dead, the amwat, and remember the akhirah and try to ease myself in somehow. He says, suddenly I saw a janazah came with a group of people carrying the janazah. and they asked me to actually join them in the tashyi', which is mustahab, of course, not mustahabat, to join the tashyi', be in the tashyi', carry the janazah from four sides, and so forth. So he said, I joined them, and we went through the Jannatul, the Wadi Salam. Out of a sudden, I saw myself with the janazah and the people inside a garden, beautiful garden. He said, then they took the janazah inside the palace. There was a nice palace, qasr, and they left the janazah inside that palace and left. He said, I went inside that palace. I saw a young man sitting on a golden throne in a very good state, gorgeous looking. He said to me to come and sit down next to him, and said that I was